what we got here today, we planned to do a nice long bus ride, but unfortunately the fibromyalgia got the better of Ahiranta. And this is how it grabs us. This is Fairham, and we had to just stop and get it to lie down like this in Fairham. This close to the bus station. You can see the buses there, and there's like a little park. We have it's a cute little place really. It's got this. It's a memorial garden for the Second World War, you know, the soldiers that died. I think we got it here on this thing. And there it is there. And well, what we got is an issue with this fibromyalgia. We've been like checking it out, and it's sort of like a virus that sits on the junction between the muscles and the skeleton, and it sets itself in and it just pops up anywhere in her body. And I haven't brought anything where I can transport it home, and that could be a bit of a problem. So we're going to have to just wait here as long as it takes for it to the pain. Today she got it in her hip area, and it's round about by here,
my belly,
where my end is, and that's made her immobile. And so we were thinking of just having
decided to have a spiritual talk here.
We decided to have a talk here, and you know, so might as well make the best of it. We got a nice sunny day today. So anyway, we decided to make the best of every situation, as we always do. And what we are hoping is, we luckily enough brought coffee with us, and it seems that the coffee, although too much of it is not good for the condition, if we have a small amount of it, the caffeine in it seems to help to relieve the pain. And so we're going to make the best of the day, and we'll have our spiritual talk.
Yeah, before we have the spiritual talk, let me introduce my beautiful, wonderful husband.
Yeah.
Ozay Rinpoche.
Whoa, that's me. Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Take a shot of this.
Yeah, have a little bit of that.
Remember that's 66, you know?
Yeah, not bad.
Look, she's fantastic. Look at my beautiful wife. Okay? This is a good, you know, I mean, it's good to have a good psychological impression of yourself. That's why whenever we do our videos, we understand the importance of having a self-image that's really positive. And no matter what condition, what state you're in, it's so important to have a positive self-image. What were we talking about earlier? Because we decided from that talk that we were having before we decided to get the camera out. That,
I don't know, but weren't we talking about longevity and that we have to take care of our bodies and minds and healthy food and
we have to make Well, I'm retired now, and so is Ahiranta. We're kind of retired now, and so I'm retired. Ahiranta's retired, and what do you do with your time? Apart from jumping on a bus to stay warm. Well, not really to stay warm, but just to get outdoors. And but considering it, what do you do with your time to keep an healthy life? And you have to think about your health, and so you've got to find answers, to issues, and you have to try to understand what's going on there, and then find an answer to it. And I think that you can waste your time doing other things, but it doesn't prosper you in any way to do other things and not consider these things that can happen to the body. And it starts, a lot of us, we kind of run away and keep our head in the sand and don't deal with it. We think the doctor is going to give you some pills, and the answer is always with a doctor and pills in a bottle. But I think what we've learned over all the years of the National Health Service and GP's prescriptions is that they often oversubscribe medication, they cross medication, and you end up in there with kidney issues or liver issues and all kinds of crap like that. So I think the best doctor really is yourself. And the first place we start from is like cause, effect. So if you've got something wrong, you have to find what the cause of that was, and sometimes that means like going into deep inner pondering and trying to understand, what did I do wrong? Where did it start from? Does it start when I was younger? Did I have emotional issues? Just things like that. And I think that you can kind of work your way out of it. I mean, I've been getting all kinds of like issues with joints and what have you, and I've had to work on that, and just to keep myself mobile.
I always like that saying you have about the tugboat and the...
Yeah, a tugboat and a QE2.
Yeah, yep.
So and that's what your body is like, It's you can go through your life on a tugboat, and when a bit of stormy weather comes, that tugboat is being smashed around, and it's really not nice to be on a tugboat in a stormy weather. But if you're on a ship like the QE2, then you don't even know there's a storm outdoors, unless you go out there. So it's the same with your body, If you don't consider your body as an important part of your life, I know that's a strange thing to say, but a lot of people, they get up and they don't even think about looking after themselves. They eat shit diet, they do shit things, and is it no wonder we don't last, we don't last very long, sort of thing. Like what's like 72 years, 76 years, that's shit time really, isn't it? It's not very long.
All right, we just talked about the tugboat and the QE2, but I just discovered somehow it stopped recording. Anyway, what would you like to say about fasting?
Well, like for years they've known, even in the 1970s, they knew from doing experiments with mice and rats that if they keep them sort of how do you call it, not starved but half starved, just give them enough to live on and not to overfeed. They had groups, like they give one group the amount of food they wanted, not needed but wanted, and then they give the other group the amount of food they need to survive. And they found that usually the group that was given the amount of food they needed to survive, they'd last 1/3 as long as the other group that was given as much food as they wanted. And over the years since the 1970s, they keep doing research studies that kind of reinforce that bit of information that they found out. So, and if you go back like as far as those ancient, like the monks, and they would fast, they would live austere lives, and they would seem to be quite healthy apparently. And I don't know if they, anyway, that's something else in it. And another thing is, this morning I put Alexa on, and she was, it was the news, and the news came up and said something, it spoke about something that I have an interest in, which is I like to do weight training and a bit of cardiovascular, about 4 or 5 times a week. And then I'll do in the morning a bit of yoga or something, you know, stretches. And they done a research, that's what was mentioned on the news, where people who do just weight training, and the selected group was like from 60s to their 70s, that they had a 16% chance of living 9 years longer. And I was just doing weight training. And then they done another group where they done cardio, cardiovascular workout plus weight training, and they had a 46% chance of living those 9 years longer. So it's it all points to one direction. It's about what you got in your mind, because it's your mind that tells you to be lazy, lethargic, or tells you to, well, figure things out, and do I want to be living on a QE2 or a tugboat?
Yeah, we are pleasure seekers, aren't we?
And and the pleasure seeking sinks the tugboat eventually, because it's weak
before its time.
Storms.
Yeah.
So it's it's about common sense at the end of the day. And I think that we are conditioned to believe that once we get to a certain age, that things start going wrong, and we start going downhill. It's a downward spiral. But I have to say, apart from my joint issues that I have had, and I had them right back to when I was 15. I done my back, and the first thing I ever done wrong. No, my ankles, then my back. And I've always had to live with that kind of joint issues. And if you look at it, like, you can take on 2 approaches with your joint issues. You can go to the doctor, and eventually they'll replace your hip, they'll replace your knee. Or you can use your own common sense and look into the area of fitness, weight training, load bearing exercises and stuff like that.
To strengthen all the stuff around your joints.
There's like a saying they got in one part of the industry now, which I like, and I think they've learned that from new research, and it's juice and loose. And that is like, if you've got knees, like your knee joint is like that, and you're forever breaking it like this, and it's all slow movements. But if you do quick repetitive movements, you get the fluids going, and then you loose it by doing stretch exercises that pulls the joints apart like that. And then the fluids go into it and bring all the minerals and things, and what the body needs, like the cartilage and what have you, to repair. So it's possible. What they're telling us is that it's possible to repair our own cartilages rather than going eventually and going to get a new knee replacement or a hip replacement. But we just got to get our asses out of bed in the morning, and we've got to consider, well, how do I feel? Is my body tight? Well, yeah, it's tight. What do? You have to untighten it, and you have to do stuff yourself. And let's face it, the National Health Service in England is, the impression we're getting is not doing very well, is it? And the people that suffer because of that is the people, the people that use it. And I do my best to keep away from that, and I would advise everyone else to try and do, educate yourself. Getting old, it shouldn't be about, becoming ignorant and sticking with it, but educating yourself about how the body works, how it repairs. And I think that's what we need to work with.
and stay away from that belief that aging,
Yeah.
that we have no influence on it, because of course we have an expiry date,
Yeah.
but
Well,
we can live much longer than we do.
yeah, and I think like when you start getting problems with your joints, and you give in to it, and you go to the pill side of it from the painkillers and what have you, then it's just a downward spiral. And for me, in a way, you could say I'm unlucky because of all, I haven't got strong bones and strong joints. It's just the way I was born. And but I've had the mind to know that I got to keep it strong. And I've had injuries with, right from a very early age. So I've had to live with a lot of joint issues. And I was lucky in a way that I started off early in that area, which a lot of people would get when they're in their 50s or whatever. I had it when I was just in my teens, and it's awful, I've been dealing with those issues and making it stronger and better myself, like my shoulder and my knees and my hip and ankles and stuff, even my elbows. Of course, I know I brought a lot of it on myself from being so sport and involved in sport and stuff, although I caused it myself through being active in sport, but although it took something away, it also gave me something. And
What did it give you?
It gave me the knowledge that when I was a young man, as I got older, what's going on is that I'm getting injuries and I'm getting joint damage, and then I'm getting arthritis. I mean, I was told I had arthritis when I was in my 20s, and I thought, well, a lot of fucking use that is use some pills. And so it's given me that I'm determined. I don't like giving up, so I have an attitude of I'm going to find out, see what I can do about this myself, and I fixed those things. And they'll never be as good as they were when I was first in this body. They'll never be as good as they were pre-injuries and pre-arthritis. But I'm making myself better, and I'm still functional, and I'm still mobile. And that's what we all want, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yes, because
you sit in that bus right over there in the morning, and there's people my age, and they're all, like, not all of them, but a lot of them, if they got a bit of weight on their body, they seem to be walking with walking sticks. And
because their hips are going, isn't it?
yeah, and you see a lot of that. So it's we've got to educate ourselves, and I just don't I don't think you should depend on the National Health Service really so much as you do.
No.
Or for people in America, I think they got their health insurance and stuff like that. Or,
if they are lucky,
and,
many
Scandinavia,
people don't.
I'm not sure about
No.
Scandinavia, Sverige. But we're the first. We should be the ones that know the most about our own body,
And figure out what is the
others.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ozay is filming the birds, is that there is always a solution, and never give up trying. Find your way around it. If you have an injury, find your way around it. Don't think if you take tablets or that will sort it. Tablets just mostly. I don't say you shouldn't go to a doctor, you shouldn't take any medication. Definitely not. I don't want to have that responsibility. But I think in too many cases people run to a doctor and just take something instead of actively changing something in their lifestyle. Everything that happened to me is the result, a little bit of DNA and genes, but of my choices in life. So if something goes wrong, I need to make different choices if I want to improve my health again. And that's what we have done. And today we wanted to show that life is sometimes, throwing, what do they call that? They throw you a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
But Ozay and I work around it.
Ahiranta just said, it's often, you're going sailing through your life in that direction. Everything's nice and smooth, and then suddenly something throws a spanner in the works. And thing is, when that happens, it's like, you know, illness or what have you, or problem. You have to stop then, and you know, not stop and run and bury your head in the sand, but stop, stay still, and consider, you know, what led up to this. And like I said, to find the solution, the answer, or the healing, you have to find first the cause. And the cause, I think, I'm pretty much sure, when you know the cause of something that's gone wrong, then that cause, the cause is, it could be a handful of things that can lead to an issue. And once you know the causes, you can put it right, and you can alter it and make sure that the next time it's not going to go wrong.
It's like a discovery.
And you want to get stronger from that.
A journey of discovery in your own body, in your own mind.
Yeah, it's about using your mind in the right way, and changing it from getting help from what you think the experts are, which they are not really. They're all learned pharmaceutical companies. They put a lot of money into their discoveries, and they don't want you to get water cures when they can create a pill, make lots and lots of money out of it, instead of you drinking water to make yourself better, because your body's gone on drought, and it's cut water off to certain organs which start getting problems because it ain't got enough water. And the pharmaceuticals don't want to do that. They want to make money.
Yes.
And it's not an altruistic ideal, is it? What you want is in society, if we want to make it perfect, we want more altruistic reasons, more altruistic people who want to work for the greater good.
Yeah.
Not for the greater good of your pocket or anything like that, but the greater good just to help your brothers and sisters along, isn't it?
That's right.
And,
serve others as well. Yeah.
I mean, look at this. If you start digging, if you start asking questions in every dimension, in the war that's going on in Russia, in the pharmaceutical companies, everywhere, in the politics, it's corrupted. Start asking questions. Don't believe everything you hear, or if you hear something, question it, and you're going to start finding answers, and it's going to turn your whole world around. It's going to go from north to south.
Yeah.
And I think that if anything, these videos, I hope, will make people question, because as soon as you start questioning, I'm not going to give you what I've come to. I have done a couple of times in some of the other videos. I do speak it the way I see it, and but I'd like you guys to do that.
Yeah, and let us know. Share it with us. Let us know.
Yeah.
What you think? What do you think?
I want it in the links down below.
Yeah.
If you've got any questions, or you've got your opinion, I mean, that's just our opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think you've got better answers, then
let's learn from each other.
Yes. I've got a sign that Ahiranta might be able to walk a bit further now.
Yeah, we're going to try to have a coffee before we make our way back in the bus.
And why do we take coffee?
We have discovered that the right amount of coffee helps to ease the pain of my inflammation, because the pain is caused in my body by inflammation. So that's what we're going to do. We go to coffee 1, and while we make our way, I will be able to tell if I can do it or not. So that's what we're going to do.
Otherwise, what have we got to do? I got to get you a wheelchair.
Yeah, but
and then I got to go and get a van.
We will be dealing with that as it
Okay.
comes. Okay, thank you all for watching, and maybe I will film a bit later on to share with you how it went.
Okay.
Thank you.